Good evening. My name is John. This is my channel, the Old Folks Boogie 2, and this is my daily, I don't know what you want to call it, vlog, I guess. My daily chit chat with the rest of the world when nobody's listening. So this is day 16 of that, the 16th of January. I put up 15 so far. This will be my 16th. No reason for it. Just if you're stumbling across it, it's just a 70-year-old man wanting to, shoot the breeze, I guess, or rant or rave or whatever. Today is an interesting day because I got a couple of curves thrown at me. A particularly good one and a particularly weird one, but a couple of curves. The first one is that I'm going to have to be going to Houston. I don't know exact March, April, not sure yet exactly when. No date has been set, but my sister Susan is having an operation, and I'm going to need to be down there with my sister-in-law Karen, I believe, at some point, to help take care of things while she's in the hospital and undergoing what she needs to deal with. And that's a good thing because it's something she was looking forward to. This is the end of a long fight. So, but anyway, and it's a good end actually. She's very happy that this operation is going to take place. It's not no, having an operation is not a good thing no matter what, especially when you reach my age or in that range somewhere. We just as human beings, we lack the strength to recuperate like we did when we were in our teens and 20s and even 30s. But anyway, so that's a good thing that's coming. That's a good thing that happened today, that I learned that I could be going there to help and that she's going to be dealing with this, and that's great. The dilemma is, how do I continue this? I wasn't planning on leaving my home for a year while I filmed this. Oh, and by the way, let's go back into here real quick. Take a look at today's. This is an illustration, obviously. I've got a problem with it because somehow or another the perspective isn't correct, and it doesn't look like it looks like both wings are attached to one shoulder. That to me, I mean, it's still pretty, and this way the wing looks like it's damaged, or I'm not sure what's going on, but it's an interesting picture. Very evocative of my own daughter, Anne Marie. Actually, maybe I'll show some of her images. Oh, you know what? Wait, hold on. Oh, sorry about that. If you can see this or not, it's probably too much glare. Let's see. Try to get this visible. Which was it? This, yeah, this is the right side up. That's my daughter, Emery. This is one of her images, something she did while she was at art school. She had it designed for one purpose, and then it didn't get used for that, so she changed a little bit and just made it into a really interesting, very beautiful poster, actually. I have one hanging framed on the other side of this room. I loved it so much. Anyway, that's why I chose this, actually, because it reminded me of something Anne Marie might accomplish or do. Only Anne Marie would do a better job. I mean, this is really pretty and it's unique in its own way. but she would have done a better job, I'm sure. But I'm prejudiced. She's my daughter. What else am I going to do? No, no, she's terrible. No, that's not true. She's really very talented. Anyway, so the other horns of this dilemma is if I'm going to go away, and I'm going to be away for a while, how do I deal with my daily dose of myself? I take the camera with me, that's easy enough. I got a laptop, I can take that with me, that's easy enough. I can certainly, but it won't be the same. It won't have the same, I won't have my background, my backdrop. I don't know what I'll use. I mean, at least it's at least consistent. It may not be all that pretty. You know, I mean, certainly the pictures I chose are certainly pretty enough. But the rest of it is just, you know, it's just a cabinet. But it's nice. It gives you, you know, something for me to sit in front of, like a TV studio or something. That's what it makes me feel like. So maybe that helps. I feel like it. But I wanted to tell you, we have this is my office cabinet, or on either side of this cabinet, one and the other, are two bookcases, and with other cabinet focuses. The one the one over here is primarily a bookcase. The one over on this side turned out to be, I didn't know it at the time, but once we got it home and started looking at it, turned out to be a bar, like an executive bar you would see in an office, or, you know, it's tall, like 6 feet, 72 inches or whatever it is, like that. Yeah, 72 inches tall. And, you know, 30 inches or so wide. It's wood and it's pretty, but it has a glass top, and it has, you know, a bar door. So you pull down the door and it's lined with something to keep it from getting some damage from water. And then there's a spot inside where you put your bar making glasses and things like that. Well, I made a terrible error in judgment when we got it home and we started figuring out what it was and realized what it was. We had another cabinet in another room that was filled with all our booze, all the liquor in this house, the stuff. Some of the stuff, because we bought this house from my parents in 2001, so, you know, 19 years ago, and there's still liquor that we have that they left when they moved out of this house. So that's how little we drink around here. When we have parties and stuff, that's another story. But people always bring wine, and the next thing you know, it builds. There's nothing you can do about it unless you drink it all the time. The alcohol tends to grow. Anyway, what I did when I started doing all this and deciding what to do, I took the glass shelf that was in the middle of the upper cabinet. And I really it's remiss of me to not have some way of showing maybe it at some point. But anyway, just an upper cabinet had one glass shelf, had 3 spots for the glass shelves, a low, a medium, and a high. Well, I chose to take it into the low position and put all the taller bottles on the top and the smaller bottles underneath. Wrong move. Wrong move. Oh my God. Was it a wrong move? Turned into a complete disaster. I should have scared the living daylights out of me. But what happened was, because I did all that, I filled that whole thing up with tall, heavy, full wine bottles, and we don't have wine racks. We don't deal with that kind of wine very much, so we don't worry, and we don't keep wine around. It doesn't matter. Anyway, everything's vertical and everything's sitting on the top of that thing, and small bottles underneath, because the bottom shelf is all solid wood. So, and I thought about it later, actually, that it was yesterday. I was thinking that maybe I should switch and put the bigger, heavier group of bottles on the bottom where they have and to take the other sets and put it on top. Well, I should have listened to myself, but I didn't. I didn't at all. I mean, I did, because I heard myself. At least I heard that part of it. But then I didn't follow through. I did not follow through. Bad mistake, because just about bedtime last night, um, Susan was in the other room watching TV, and I was shutting this place down on this side of the world. And I was just about to head out the door of the living room. This is where this all is, in the living room of my house. I was going to head back through the dining room and into the kitchen and back, into the rest of the house where my wife is. And I turned and I said to the Echo, Alex, turn out the living room lights. And she did. And the light went out. And she said, okay. And just as she said, okay, I heard this crash. It was an explosion. That's the only way to describe it. It was just so loud, it scared the living daylights out of me. And it scared the little new kitten that we had so badly that she ended up under a cabinet that we couldn't get her out. She had to come out on her own because she flattened herself to get there, believe me. She was so scared. But, I mean, Susan heard it. She came running in. I turned the lights back on, and it was just bottles on the floor, broken glass, wine. And what had happened, and it wasn't actually the glass shelves' fault, because it's 1/4-inch plate glass, and that stuff is pretty tough. And that's why I left it there and at the beginning, and that's why I thought it would be okay. But it wasn't. The supports for the glass shelf, one on each corner, those were plastic. And the left front corner, as you face the cabinet, the left front corner gave way. Just sheared. Just couldn't take the weight, I guess, and that thing just sheared in half. And when it did, that whole front corner of the glass came down, and it snapped the whole tray in half, and the whole thing collapsed into the middle. Bottles came down through the middle, out the two doors, pushed open the doors, and it was a mess, a complete mess, disaster. Susan and I spent an hour just getting it back to, some reasonable level. I had to finish it today. I couldn't do it last night. I would have been up. It took me 2 or 3 hours today, maybe more than 3 hours. It took me at least 3 hours today to get it all back to, I still have to and I'm still having a new shelf made, and I'm going to have to redo it, but at least everything's cleaned and put back, and so you can move around. You can't, there's no glass on the floor anymore. I got it all up and then scrubbed down the floor and got all the wine off, and it's an old floor. I don't know if I mentioned it before or not, but this particular house is, and the part I'm sitting on is about 300 years old almost, and it was built, and it's certified. We even have a plaque from a historic thing. Doesn't mean a whole lot, but this house was originally built in 1734. So we're only 14 years away from it being 300 years old. But anyway, and that's this floor. I don't know how old it is, but it's old. And although nice, it's old, and it's, it doesn't show damage like a new floor. Let's put it that way. Anyway, it cleaned up pretty nicely, and everything seems to be back on track. So, but don't ever do that if you think you might. Get all the weight off the glass and put it on something more stable, that's for sure. I wish I had, but now we know. So when I finish putting it back together again and get the new glass shelf, I won't do that again. Anyway, we're down to our last 30 seconds again. 15 minutes went by pretty quick this time. So anyway, that's all there is for the moment, because I don't have anything but about 15 seconds left. And there's no room there to start a new conversation or a new topic, that's for sure. But on the countdown, we're just going to start to say goodnight. Hope everybody does well and treat each other nicely. Thank you.